Good morning from a rather wet Olden. It's been a tale of two halves, with yesterday being absolutely beautiful weather in Stavanger, and today it's rather cloudy and grey in Olden. It's going to be about 15 degrees with a little bit of rain. And today we are doing the bus ride to the Brikstal Glacier. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Now, we booked this independently and it cost us 1,000 krona for both of us. That's £74 each. And you can book exactly the same excursion through P&O for £74 per person. So we paid £74 in total, but you can book it through P&O for £74 per person. So literally double the price, which is crazy. And apparently you just get off the ship and the people meet you for the bus tour, so it's very easy to find. And then they take you up to the glacier, which is apparently a beautiful ride. Of course, we'll take you on that, and then it's about a 45-minute walk to the top. And we've got our walking boots and we've got our all-weather gear, so if it does rain, we'll be able to cope, and I'm sure it'll be great. Now, people who've booked the Skylift today are probably going to be a bit disappointed because you can see it's pretty cloudy up there, so they're not going to get the greatest of views. Nevertheless, Olden is absolutely beautiful, and we are not doing our trip until 11, so we're going to have breakfast somewhere first because it's only about 8:30 at the moment, and then we'll go and catch the bus. We booked it for 11 because the ship doesn't dock till 9, and the first bus before that was 9:30, so we thought that might be a bit tight, especially if for some reason it was delayed. Just going to move it out the rain. Now, it was a super bumpy night, as the captain said. From 10 o'clock it was going to get bumpy, and it certainly was. So if you are motion sickness or you don't like that up and down feeling, then you're probably not going to want to be at a forward cabin. Kind of half lulls you to sleep and half makes you feel like you're on a roller coaster. So anyway, that was our first sort of bumpy experience of being in a forward cabin, but on the other hand, it is definitely worth it for these stunning views, even on a grey, cloudy, rainy day. So we'll be back with you when we have decided where we're going for breakfast, and then we'll take you on the tour with us. Hi, we're James and Rob, and this is our dog Oscar. We love travel in all its forms, so join us on our next adventure as we head out on the road again. So we decided to come down to the Keel Cow for breakfast because our trip isn't until 11 o'clock this morning, so we thought we'd eat because we probably won't get to have any lunch. I am having a coffee with a eggs Benedict on a bagel and avocado. That's £3.50. And James is having the full English breakfast, which is £3.50 as well, so not too expensive, and it's cooked to order unlike the other restaurants, and it's nice and chilled in here as well. So the Keel Cow is just sort of part of the atrium, so it almost doesn't feel like a separate restaurant with no clear entrance way, but anyway, it's nice and chilled and fairly empty in here. So we'll see what the food's like, and hopefully it will fill us up before we head out on our hike. Okay, our food has arrived, and James's cooked breakfast looks really nice, and my eggs Benedict with crushed avocado looks really good as well. So as I say, these were £3.50 each, and they're freshly cooked, so I'm sure it will be very good. We'll let you know once we've eaten it. Then we are going to go back to our room and then head out to explore Olden before we get on the bus to start climbing the glacier. Okay, as if by magic, our plates have, the food on our plates has disappeared. James, what do you think of that? How does it compare to the main dining room?
Better. Yeah, definitely better.
Yeah. And my smashed avocado was really nice, and the service was really good, and it was serviced with a smile, and the food was specially prepared. So for £3.50 each, that was definitely worth coming to breakfast. I mean, it's nice, quiet and chilled. So we're now filled up. And we're ready to go out and about in Olden. So we have just got off the ship, come into Olden, and you can see the weather is clearing up, which is nice. Fairly magnificent view of the ship. There's two exits on deck 3. If you get the midship exit, if you've booked with Olden Adventures, you just turn right, and there's lots of little tents there. You exchange your voucher for a ticket, and then you go to the bus station, the gas station just down here on the left, and then hopefully that will be straightforward. Jumping on the bus at 11 to get to the start of the walk to the glacier. But ship looked quite magnificent and completely out of place in a tiny little place like Olden with this massive ship, and you can just see our room,
The two people.
yeah, below the
next to
two
us.
people, yeah. So anyway, we're gonna now wander down there. There's not much in Olden if you haven't booked a tour. There's a lot of tourist shops,
I'm sure there's probably
they're-
walking trails.
probably, yeah. But anyway, we'll see how getting on the bus goes in a moment. So that was very easy. Got on the bus, the big double-decker grey bus with an Olden Adventure sign in the window at the bus station, and it left bang on 11 o'clock. Now we're heading towards the glacier, and hopefully we'll have some spectacular views along the way. The clouds are parting a bit to let the sun shine. It's definitely a good idea not booking through the cruise line, because the queues to get on the hop on hop off bus or the little train were massive at 11 o'clock. And as with lots of things, the earlier you do these things, the less crowded it's going to be. You could do this tour at 9:30 or 11 and probably 1:32, but we didn't do 9:30 because the boat didn't dock till 9, and we didn't want to risk it being late and then missing our tour, so we opted for 11, which meant we could have breakfast first of all. And if you look a little bit further on, there's some more shops here. So if you walk up a bit from where the ship has docked, you can see some more. Oh, there's an outlet mall, yeah. So you can see some more places to shop here as well, which you probably wouldn't know unless you've been here before. So these are probably a little bit less touristy and probably a little bit cheaper. There's lots of waterfalls along the way. There's an example of one of them. So this is that's a coaster to get you to the bottom of the hike up to the glacier. It's actually really pretty. It gives you a good sense of Norway and Olden. So we've arrived at Briksdal and got off the buses. There is a lot of tour buses here anyway. It's all very well organised. And here is an amazing waterfall to start the journey. Of course, there's gift shops and loos and coffee shops at the bottom. You can take the troll car, but there's a lot of people queuing for that.
And the first available one's 3 p.m.
What, coming back? Or leaving
No,
there?
leaving.
Well, they can't
If
be
you want to
queuing.
get one.
Well, they're all queuing now.
Yeah, because they've probably got tickets already for it.
Oh, I see.
But if you just turned up and wants to get on one, first one will be 3 p.m. you can get on.
Blimey. Anyway, we're not going to do that, are we? We get to walk. Supposedly it's about 45-minute walk. It's damp, but it's not raining. And the drive took about half an hour. Nobody sort of said that in videos we've watched before. Round some very windy, narrow roads, but it was absolutely beautiful watching the waterfalls and the lakes and the scenery and the houses. So that's definitely part of your journey. And they tell you what time. So we got an 11 o'clock bus there, and we get a 2 o'clock bus back that gets, 2 o'clock, yeah, that gets us back at 2:30 to the cruise ship, which gives us plenty of time because we don't leave till 5:30.
And we can walk into Olden.
Yeah, and we're going to walk into Olden and go and visit those little outlet shops on the way. It's starting to get a little bit bit steeper here, but it is very beautiful, so see how we get on.
Feels like it's raining here, but it's just the spray off the waterfall, which we're about to cross and probably get quite wet in the process. It is lovely views. Here, I should put my leggings on.
Oh.
I'm going to climb all the way up there where those people are, and we've got to get through the waterfall first of all, so that's going to be interesting. Okay, here goes nothing. Ready to get wet. James walking through the waterfall. Try not to get too wet, and now my go. I'm not going to turn the camera off. Well, we both got rather wet then, so let's have a look at James. Probably worth it. I've got some more cheap leggings in my bag, but haven't put them on.
Yeah, might need to do that for the way back.
Yeah. Hopefully we've got it. Anyway, that was fun. Be really nice on a hot day because you would cool down, but it's not really a hot day today, so but good fun. So back in 1760, this is where the glacier started, and you can see absolutely no sign of it anymore due to erosion and I guess climate change. Anyway, so far I'd say that this climb is a little bit tougher than we anticipated, with lots of quite steep inclines and steps to climb. Definitely worth doing, and of course you can take the troll car up or down if you don't want to walk, but of course the great thing is that everywhere you walk on this there's lots of lovely things to see, and although at the base is packed with tour buses, obviously you can find your own space on here, and it all seems to be rather well organised. James is definitely not taking any chances now.
No, for sure.
Although a bit late because his jeans are already soaking wet.
I'm warming up nicely.
Yeah.
So,
I think I'll put my leggings on when we head back down to keep my jeans dry, because I don't want to sit on the bus with wet jeans. Anyway, onwards and upwards. We are planning a big trip for some big birthdays that we've got coming up in a couple of years' time, and we are thinking of going to New Zealand. We were just saying that we imagine this is what parts of New Zealand are like. Nice to be off the ship and doing some exercise after being rather sedentary on the ship, and of course eating and drinking, so nice bit of counterbalance today. And a bit further up you can see where the glacier went to in 1800, and sadly no longer does. And a few hundred metres further on you can see where the glacier ended in 1870, and there's still no sign of it, and we don't really know how much further we've got to walk, but we haven't seen anything yet, so we'll keep going uphill. Just gave ourselves a bit of a fright because he said 3 to 4 hours, but this is actually hiking up the mountain. Can you just point up so you can see it there? We're here.
There.
Yeah.
That's markings up there. It's that one.
Yes, we're not doing that.
No, we're going.
Fortunately, Briksdal, however you pronounce it, is only half a kilometre away, so we're nearly there, which is good to know. Just for completeness, this is where the front of the glacier was around 1910, and we're still half a kilometre away, so where I've shown you all those points on the way up, you get a really good sense of how dramatically the glacier has retracted over the years. Let's go out a bit. And so a bit more climbing and we should be there, and of course I'll show you what it's like at the top and tell you what we think about the climb up. Isn't Mother Nature amazing? How angry that looks, and also how clear it looks. I imagine it's good drinking water, but lots of lovely views from here. Our first sighting of the glacier in rather cloudy cloudy weather, that you do get to see the blue of the ice up ahead. And here's where I've seen some videos where people go for a swim. James, do you fancy going for a swim? I see everyone's now trying to get the money shot, but it is amazing, even on a cloudy day like this. I really hope the camera is capturing the blueness of the, well, what we can see of the glacier. Obviously goes way higher up there, but we can't see it today. And just like that, it's completely gone again. I think we're quite lucky that we saw a little bit of it, because other people here are saying they haven't seen it at all. So that's really good. I hope I caught a little bit of it on the camera for you, but this is the top part. It has taken us about 45 minutes to walk up here, at times fairly strenuous, but this is one of those occasions where the journey is as important as the destination, in that there's lots of fantastic views. So don't just rush up here to see the glacier and then on a day like today you see nothing, but actually enjoy the view as well. James is getting some good shots. Did you manage to get a picture of the glacier before it disappeared? Hopefully, yeah. James has got a little bit. I might have to superimpose that on here. We have walked down and suddenly the glacier's been revealed, so we are quickly stopping and getting some pictures. There we go. We are back down the bottom. We have just had a coffee, which was nice, and a cookie, which was really nice, but 2 coffees and 2 cookies cost £15. But hey, we're in Norway and that definitely will tide us over. There's some toilets in the shop, so if you want to get to the loo before you head back, that's a good piece of advice. And there's lots of knickknacks in the shop that you never knew you needed, but if you want to buy gifts, that's a good place, although I suspect it's probably quite expensive. So we're just waiting for the bus in half an hour back to the ship. What do we think of this tour? Well, it was really good, and as I said on the way up, the views on the way up are definitely as impressive as the actual glacier itself, which we didn't see much of, but the sun, you can see now, is just starting to come out, so I suspect the views from the glacier will be better than the ones we had. As I said at the beginning, we booked this ourselves through Olden Adventures, and again I'll put a link in the notes below this video, and we paid £75 for both of us, as opposed to £74 each if we booked exactly the same trip through the cruise ship. So as long as you give yourself plenty of time to get back, like we should be back at the cruise terminal by 2:30 and the ship leaves at 5:30, so we're giving ourselves tons of buffer room. And yeah, of course, if the bus broke down or something awful happened, we would be late, but that's kind of a risk that we think is worth taking in order to pay half the price. And yesterday we paid half the price as well, and we're doing a rib ride tomorrow, so we'll tell you about that and how that compares to the cruise prices later on. But we are going to be heading back shortly. If there's any great scenery along the way, I'll try and film it. We're going to sit on the other side of the bus so we get different views, and then we'll chill out. We may go to that shopping mall, have a look before we leave, and then we are eating at the Olive Grove at 7 o'clock tonight, so of course we'll take you along with us as well, but I'll be back with you if there's anything exciting to show on the way. So about 10 minutes walk from the ship. If you come off the ship and turn right past the garage, you come to a bunch of shops, and it's just the most beautiful scenery on the way. Oh, look at that toadstool. Slight detour to the planned broadcast. Have a look at these toadstools. Anyway, as I was saying, about 10 minutes walk up the road is a bunch of shops, so since we have lots of time, we're going to have a walk, and the views as you walk here are just absolutely stunning. James thinks we should try eating one of those toadstools because...
The fly agaric.
What does that mean?
The shamans used to use it to trip their nuts off.
Are you allowed to say that on my video?
Oh, just good.
Oh yeah. Anyway, don't suggest doing that because James is not a fungal expert. And it might be highly poisonous and kill you, so please don't blame us. Anyway, as I was saying, the walk is really lovely. It's flat, about 10 minutes. And there's shops here, and then there's more shops up there, co-op and so on. So we're going to have a look and see what we can find. So here we go, just not even 10 minutes really walk on a nice flat surface, which is a nice. You can buy the troll to take home, some reindeer. There's a co-op, which seems to be a popular place for buying some snacks, and a few other stores, so all very nice. Some heather.
Okay, Heather.
Sure, we're going to find everything we didn't know we need to buy, but anyway. And just like that, we are leaving Olden after a fantastic day where the weather hasn't been amazing, but it hasn't really rained very much. But it was mostly cloudy, as you saw. But anyway, Olden's a lovely place, and look at the view behind us. This is the advantage of having a balcony cabin. Let me turn you around. And we're having a little celebratory gin and tonic on the balcony before we leave. But we are just heading off, and we're going to be passing a couple of the other fjords later tonight, but whether it will still be light for me to video or not, I don't know. But the captain said the seas are going to be fairly smooth tonight, which is good because it was bumpy last night, and definitely told us that we were at the front of the ship. Anyway, let's see if I can capture us departing. So tonight we are eating in the olive grove, and here's a quick look at the menu. This is a restaurant that you need to book once you're on board. There's no fee to book it, but you can see there's certain items here that have an additional fee allocated to them. So it all looks nice. We'll be back with you when we've got some food. So we ordered the Italian antipasti. First of all, it looks very nice. This is for two, although I could probably gobble it out myself. James has got a glass of Pinot Grigio, and I've got a glass of Chianti just for a change. So I'm sure this is going to be very nice. Can't really go wrong with that, can you? Looks very good, so we'll see. So the starter was nice, but I think a tip here is if you are going to order these platters, then you probably want to order two. Although they're sharing for two, they're not very big. It was more like a kind of a nibble, so I would order two next time and not feel like you're being greedy. But I guess that's left lots of room for our main course. So that was quite funny. It took ages for our starter plates to be cleared, and the second our starters were cleared, after waiting for about 15-20 minutes, our main courses arrived. So James has got his hanging kofkas, which was an additional £4.50, but it's not very much there. I've got the lasagna, which was an additional charge, and we got a Caesar salad that we can share. So hopefully it looks good. Let's hope it tastes good.
More style than substance. For an upcharge of £4.50, I was expecting something a little bit more, besides just two koftas hanging on the skewer. There wasn't much in the way of Turkish salad or anything, so.
And my lasagna was okay. The Caesar salad was nice. I'm not quite sure why they were charging £4.50 for James's, basically two beef burgers hanging on a skewer. But I don't know, people will probably disagree with us, but a lot of the food has been a bit style over substance. It sounds really good. It looks nice, but it doesn't taste great. Anyway, my lasagna was fine. It's kind of what you'd expect it to be. So
Let's see what dessert brings. Desserts have arrived, and James has got the baklava, which is a £2 supplement, but it looks actually really nice with some halva. That looks like a donut in the middle. By the way, James is Greek, so he ought to know this. Tell us what it tastes like.
It's like a donut covered in honey.
Anyway, he's got that, and I've got the tiramisu, which is nicely presented, so hopefully it tastes good.
It's very nice. Definitely worth the uptick in price. The baklava, which had halva, lukumadis, and baklava, and Greek yogurt.
I had the tiramisu, which was nice. So, how would you sum up this evening?
Style over substance for the main course. The dessert made up for it. Chilled ambience. Everyone not too bad.
Yeah, I think it's a really nice environment in here. And obviously if you get a table by the windows, you get amazing views of the fjords as we're passing through. As James said, it was a bit style over substance, like it sounds really nice, but the antipasti starter was a little bit small. We could have done with 2, we'll know for next time. My main course was exactly what you'd expect for lasagna. James's was somewhat disappointing for an additional $4.50, basically 2 burgers hanging on skewers and not much else. And the desserts were good. So I definitely recommend coming here. It is a nice environment, and really you could eat. Actually, I've eaten tonight with no extra cost, and it's certainly a lot nicer than eating in the main dining room. So we are going to, I don't know, have a walk and try and burn off some of the calories we've eaten, and then watch us passing through the other fjords a little bit later. So over and out.
Could be dark by the time we get to the other fjords.
Probably, yeah.
Ain't worried if I'm up by the lakeside. No, I don't really care what we do, 'cause everything just falls by the wayside when I take time with you. Am I crazy for not wanting to chase lights? No, I just want a table for 2. No, I don't